Sweet.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. We're like veterans now.
Yeah.
Back to the end of the Accidental podcast.
I feel like we should change the name to that. It's
Might
not
as
Cold
well.
Iron Podcast. It's just Accidental
It's just
Podcast.
an accidental podcast.
Yeah.
I think it works really well. So we both had same event this weekend, the Twin River Strength Fest at Sandman. I was the meet director for the powerlifting side. Obviously we had some people from the gym competing in the Strongman side. So I was trying to oversee kind of everything. I was a little bit everywhere, but you spent most of your time on obviously the Strongman side.
100% of my time, actually. I didn't even make it over there.
There was powerlifting on the other side. So I have my thoughts on the weekend. Tell me your thoughts on the weekend as a whole, not just like your performance specifically, just what were your thoughts on the weekend?
I would say it went really well.
Yeah.
It went smoother than last time. Mm-hmm. I heard a lot of good things from spectators and athletes alike. Mm-hmm. Aside from small equipment malfunctions, which happen a lot of times when you're trying new things. Mm-hmm. Like even really, really tight-knit, well-run comps still have that happen. Mm-hmm. Like Kelowna's power stairs fell apart halfway through.
Oh shit, no way. Somebody on them?
Nah, well...
It didn't like crumble or anything?
The board started to like snap out the bottom.
Oh.
So we had to like only use one side, and then they tried to fix it, and then they were just like, well, how about we just up the weight so nobody can get the last one up the stairs far enough to where it's broken.
Nice.
And then at this comp, Conan's wheel, one of the wheels fell off, and then the other one fell off. And then they both had no wheels. Yeah. They just kept breaking. But, it's the first time.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, that's bound to happen when you're doing a bunch of different equipment. Like powerlifting, we have a fucking barbell.
Yeah, barbell on the floor.
I've never seen maybe it has, but I've never seen a barbell split in half at a competition, so that'd be pretty rad, though. I would like that to happen more than I'd actually like to see someone successfully lift something.
Whole new type of record. Yeah. Who can break the most barbells?
Yeah.
Bonus points.
We should put that into one of the Strongman events.
Who can break a barbell?
It'd be like a phone book thing, but...
They used to take different thicknesses of steel rods, and you had to bend it in half.
I've seen that. Yeah. That'd be a cool one. We could do
a
the
lot
barbells.
of people hurt themselves doing that.
Sure.
You can put it on your head, you can put it behind your neck.
Was it like you just had to do
long as I think it was something along the lines of as long as your arms didn't bend in all the way or you didn't use your elbows to press it, something like that. That might not be perfectly accurate, but there was some small rules. But yeah, a lot of people would bring towels and like stack it on their head and just like bend it over their head.
Bend it?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. How did you get to do it?
No. Oh. That's like 1970, 1980s type event. Like, it hasn't been around for a long time.
I should suggest to bring that back. That's fun. Or like snapping, or like ripping phone books would be a good one. See how many people could rip phone books.
What about the girl lift? Where you just put a bunch of women on top of a platform and you have to squat it.
Yeah. Yes, that's great. And then put them into bikinis and we could really sell this shit out.
I think we should do... women, fully dressed, heavyweight dudes in bikinis on the platform, and that's how we'll keep it even.
And that's very.
That's what I want to see.
That's very woke of you. I like that equality all the way around.
That's how we do numbers on Instagram.
That's going to the masses.
Yeah.
What is like the most fun thing you've done for strength? Like how like it's cool when you've done like a 500-pound deadlift, and people are like, yeah, that's cool. But if you put it to actually, like, if you're like, I deadlifted a tiger, and they'd be like, whoa, that's really cool. What's something that you've done that's actually, like, fun or cool or, like, appreciated by more people because it's, like, either funnier or more understood?
A lot of people really like to see circus dumbbell.
Yeah.
Every time I have a circus dumbbell event, it does fantastic.
Right. Probably because it's like the circus.
Yeah. Like, there's, like, it's just so gigantic, and you press it with one hand. It doesn't seem that impressive to me because I have to do it all the time.
Yeah.
But to people that don't know Strongman, they're like, why is that dumbbell bigger than his torso?
Yeah.
Why is he pressing it over his head?
It looks very like Hans and Franz, like in the circus kind of style. And that's circus dumbbell. But it's like, I think it's very understood from that too, where it's like, this is kind of off the Strongman thing, but have you ever had like going into like real world stuff? Like going around town, you know how being like in shape, you get like recognized for being in shape. Have you ever had to do something outside of like competition that's been like funny or entertaining?
Yeah, just the typical like, hey, you're the only one who I trust to move a table downstairs. Or just like random things like that.
Like being a forklift kind of thing. Yeah.
Like I've kind of moved away from all that type of labor. Like I used to be on auto tech.
Right.
So I used to just push around cars all the time.
Right.
That was just a regular part of my day.
Right.
But I haven't done that in a long time.
In a hot minute.
Yeah.
I crushed a cantaloupe between my legs last year at a festival.
Feeding everyone.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty cool. It got quite a pop from the crowd. People were pretty jacked on it. And I still have people randomly now come up to me at different festivals and being like, you were the one that crushed a cantaloupe between their legs, because women couldn't do it. So it was like, that was pretty funny. And I was like,
how hard was it?
Well, this cantaloupe was fucking solid, because I remember getting it and being like, this is hard. And then there's a guy like announcing and whatever, and he was talking to other people, because there would be like different dudes that couldn't get their melon crush, so like people would jump on top of each other trying to get it, or they'd ask if you want help or something like that, or people would stand up and do it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like laying down or like sitting on my ass, and when I was listening to him announce, I was like, I need to crush this before he asks me if I need help, because I don't want, if I'm doing this or if it takes me all goddamn day. So it's like, you do it and it doesn't feel like it's going, but it's a matter of just like how long you can hold it, and then you start to feel this little give, and then eventually it just like crushes it. So yeah, that was pretty funny. Or like at a party one time, I was wearing like leather pants, and we did like a bench press competition at a party. That was pretty fun, actually. That was pretty funny. But like, and then, yeah, like the normal, like people assume that you have biceps and you want to arm wrestle. Like, does that happen to you?
That's happened a couple times in the mall with teenagers. They're just like, hey, you want to arm wrestle?
Yeah.
The first time it ever happened, it was just some like scrawny kid. He's like, oh, you want to arm wrestle me? And I'm like, no. He's like, why? I'm like, look at your fingers. There's ice cream all over your hands. I'm not fucking touching you.
You're sticky.
And he's like, oh, never mind. Just like scurries away. Yeah. I do get catcalled walking down the street now.
Oh, what do you get? What's your favorite?
A lot of people just ask me to start flexing.
Really?
Yeah, this has been like a recent thing just because it's been hot, so I've been wearing tank tops out in public.
Sure, yeah.
It's annoying. I don't like it. I don't want that attention.
No, like people just like, they'll just like put out their own arm and ask you to do it, or what do they do? Or they just yell flex at you? They
just start yelling things.
They're
trying to get me to do things.
Yeah, that's not for you.
I'm not about that.
No, you don't seem like that type of person to like randomly rip off your shirt and start like spraying ham on yourself and just flexing in the middle of the street.
I can't do it.
There's a bus driver that every time he passes me, he always like flexes his bicep, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I see you up there, bus driver.
It's
great.
It's great. Yeah. So then back to the weekend.
How did you feel the weekend?
I loved it. Like, obviously, like you said, there's like a bunch of like little things that with any competition, there's stuff that needs to be like worked on. Like I think, like with the speakers of like the Strongman stuff, because all the music was over the overhead of the center, like so that everything could be heard. I guess spectators couldn't really hear what like the announcer was saying. So because there's music playing over the thing, and the speakers were facing towards you guys, I guess people couldn't hear. So I think just like having the speakers set out better so it's more to the crowd, and then less to the.
You probably need more speakers then.
Yeah, I think
we have to be able to hear the announcer guy say 3, 2, 1.
Totally, and you kind of want just the music in the background so there's not that awkward silence. But like, obviously,
I prefer the awkward silence.
I do too. Yeah.
Just, I don't know. Sometimes you get a song that's just horrendous.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't fucking do this.
Yeah.
And then you can't put it on YouTube either because there's music in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I tried to like keep the playlist as like.
Or were you DJing?
I was, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there was like, I put it on like based on Disturbed. So it had like Disturbed in there.
Yeah.
It had like Battle Beast. So it had stuff that was like at least not the typical Camel's playlist of just Nickelback and AC/DC the whole time.
Yeah.
So I tried to like make it that it was at least a little better than that, but not screaming like Lamb of God death metal for
come on.
Which I played Machine Head, and then one of the girls was like, this is too heavy, and I was like, but it's just Machine Head.
Get stronger.
Yeah, exactly. That's right, too. Nice.
Develop your ears.
It's a metaphor for your lift.
Yeah. You can't hear the metal, you're not going to lift the metal.
That's right. It's just the two are connected. But the actual, like, so there's obviously, like I said, little tweaks and stuff that just need to be made with anything, which is human error. That shit happens. But as far as the actual event, I couldn't have been any happier. Like, I like I said, I'm a fucking sucker for a community. So when there's like a strength community like that, I was like, the environment to me was so infectious. Like, just being able to be a part of both, I think, is really, really awesome. Like, because I did try to I had some people that I had to coach on the powerlifting day on Sunday, and I was trying to make sure everything was running good on the powerlifting side. But I knew so many people, obviously, to have such good relationships with the Strongman people, that trying to be a little bit of everywhere. And I'm like, man, what a awesome thing to have, that we have this ability to just have, like, all be under the same roof, which is really, really cool. And I just thought the environment, the atmosphere was just like magical. But that's just how I felt, just because it's like, I don't know, something, like I said, we all come together with for just one weekend. I know that the Highland Games were also happening that same weekend.
Okay.
So it would have been kind of cool if, like, because I feel like a lot of Highland Games, either competitors or spectators would have really appreciated.
Oh, yeah.
I think close to the Strongman side, obviously. So
Strongman used to steal Highland Games events, so.
Right, exactly. So I think it would be a fun thing to be able to have, maybe, if we can't combine them, of having, like, on different weekends would probably be better for all people to be able to watch.
Just because they like to use the Sandman Center, it's tough because you have to coordinate with all the other events going on throughout the summer.
100%, yeah. And that's such a good venue. Like, there's so much space, and like, there's definitely not a shortage of room to move around and for as many people to come watch as possible. So there's definitely a lot more people this year than last year, which is great, like, as far as spectators go. So I think next year will be even better, and hopefully we can get more signups and better cash prizes.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's nice to be able to give the athletes something. Like, it's nice to be able to have your hard recognized with some cash, and especially when, like, this isn't how people make a living, right? Like, as far as, you compete, put all your money in, and you don't get anything in return. So it's nice to be able to have that for people. And it's cool when I've been doing this for so long that you just see so many familiar faces that either have, like, switched from powerlifting to strongman, or vice versa, or have been out of the industry, but maybe they're coaching, like, their child, or, like, it's really cool that you're like, man, I've seen, like, I knew you, like, 10 years ago when we did, like, it's really cool to be able to see that again. It's like you're just competition friends that you're like, I don't see you any other time during the year except for these things. And that's
got
pretty,
a few of those.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. It's like, these are, like, your competitor friends, and it's just very, I thought it was just an awesome atmosphere. And I think it was cool to have people inspired to compete. Like, I talked to people afterwards, and they were like, got the bug a little bit of that they wanted to do it, because I think in people's heads they have a different idea of what it's going to be, right? Like, they think either it's going to be just like what you see on TV, of that they're like, well, my weights aren't even close to that, like, I'm not strong enough, or the ideas that they come up with in their head, until they're there and they're like, oh, everyone is they're just trying their goddamn hardest.
Yeah, and even if you mess it up, everyone's there screaming for you anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So I really loved it anyways. What were your on your athlete perspective, what were your feelings going into the competition this weekend? How were you personally feeling?
I was a bit nervous. Like, I've coached people at competitions before, but it's just been like one or two. Yeah. And in those ones,
while you've competed?
Yes and no.
Oh, okay.
But this one, having 4 people for sure that I was coaching, and then just knowing that I was going to pick up a couple stragglers along the way. Right. Because it happens every time.
Right. Just like you trying to help people.
Yeah. So, like, I'll be going around, I'll see somebody warming up, and it's like, it's not going well, and I'll offer them help. Or people that I've helped in the past, I'll be like, here, Jared can help you. Right. 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 Because it's tough to help people day of. Yeah. You don't want to change their form too much.
For sure.
Ruining everything. Yeah. You just got to help them, like, just enough to get it.
Yeah. You're not trying to reteach them something. And I think that's a lot of the problem,
just
too.
Tiny tips and tricks.
Yeah. This is what you're doing, but this is just like...
Yeah. So, like, I get a lot of people that just start throwing people my way. By the end of the day, I had picked up, like, 4 or 5 additional people that I was helping.
That's quite a bit.
So I was just anxious for the amount of people that I knew I was going to be helping, and then also have to compete myself. Mm-hmm. And then my entire almost my entire strongman team was there. They were all in like the pro-am side.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like I didn't necessarily have to help them. They're very good at what they do by now.
Yeah.
But also just having all of them there just adds an extra layer of pressure for it's like, okay, so if my athletes that I'm directly coaching don't do well and they all see that, it's just a bad little effect, right?
You feel like it's a reflection on you.
Yeah, even though like they all know it's like that's just the game. Sometimes things go badly, or you just have people show up that you didn't expect to just blow everybody out of the water.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about that.
No.
But that's just me being super hard on myself.
Yeah, that's a very normal way, I think, to feel as a coach, that you start to take on that responsibility and that, like, I guess that, like you said, that pressure, that guilt of, like, oh, I really wanted you to do better. And I think, like, a lot of the time, anyone that's a good coach knows that, like, everyone performs differently day of, right?
Yeah.
And so, and I think everyone has their own story coming from somewhere else, right? So it's like, okay, well, this guy didn't do some of the events, and you're like, yeah, but you don't know the backstory of either how far he's come or like what we've done in this time, right?
Yeah.
Or
even how many times he's competed. Like,
yeah, totally. And sometimes people just need to, I mean, this is a different topic I want to talk about later, but like sometimes people just need to get better at competing.
It's a whole separate skill.
Right? So it's just like sometimes even for people when I'm like, okay, you need like a year to get your technique better, put on muscle, whatever that goal is, right? Of why you would need essentially a break. But then there's some people I'm like, you just need to sign up. Just keep signing up because you just need to get better at this. Yeah. And they're in such a position of where all they can do is just to keep competing because they need to put on muscle anyways, get better at those lifts, but more importantly, learn how to perform.
Yeah.
Right? And I think this might go into a little bit more of, this is kind of the topic that I want to discuss a little bit later, but we're going to talk about it now because I'm bringing it up. But I think a lot of the time people just see, again, like highlights of stuff where they see someone like smacking someone on the back or like shaking someone, trying to get someone super, super like their adrenaline just really, really going.
Yeah.
Where I think a lot of the time people need to get better at just like being like present and aware of what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Like learn how to move better, learn how to be like one with the weight or whatever you're trying to perform at that time, and less about like, how can I get as amped up as possible?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're already nervous. You don't need to be more anxious.
You might not feel it, but you're already amped.
Exactly, yeah. And you're already like a 9 out of 10 on the anxiety scale. You don't need to be smelling salts, getting smacked across the face and like ramming your head through a wall or like pacing around the gym or whatever it is. Yeah. You just need to be like really actually focused on what your training was, of like how to perform the exercise, or like thinking of a cue, as opposed to being like, I need to like get as angry or as amped up as possible. It's like, well, you know, you already want to do it. You already know you want to accomplish the lift. You don't need to get amped up anymore. You're like pacing around and you're ready to start ripping your hair out.
Yeah.
And you haven't even stepped up to the platform yet.
Yeah, I had people on opposite ends of that spectrum. Mm-hmm. Where, so Sean, he was amped up and started to forget things.
Yes.
So like on his farmers.
Yeah.
Which we trained 30 pounds per hand heavier.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know the weights were going to get bumped down.
Right.
Nice for him. But then he goes to lift it, gets in his head, sees that the other guy's already going.
Yeah.
And doesn't stand up all the way.
Yes.
That's not something he did one single time in training.
No, exactly.
So that goes back to the, you need to get better at competing skill.
100%. That's what I was thinking of.
Person on the other end, she was super amped up and she went too far in something that she didn't need to. Like max out deadlift, like the last rep is just like a disgusting 10 out of 10 grinder, but you won by like 3 reps.
Right.
And you went last.
Right.
That was like, great, you did it.
Yeah.
Good luck in the next event.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's, and I think both of those things can go under the same umbrella of like, you just need to get better at competing.
Yeah.
Because that's based on logic. Like you going for that extra rep was, you wanted a pop from the crowd. That was nothing more than your ego. Really, it's an ego lift on that last rep. Yeah. Because if logically you're like, no, I already won, I need to save myself for the next meet. That's you asking enough questions to be like, okay, well, someone from the crowd's going to be like, she's got another one in her, because everyone thinks you always have another one in you.
Oh, always.
Always. But
always.
That's you being like, okay, this is my logical side, and this is more of a coaching side. Like, whether you're self-coached, or I would say more self-coached in this instance, because you could yell, that's it, and she could still go for another one, which happens too.
Yeah, sometimes people don't even fucking hear you.
They don't hear you, and that's not actually your job at that time. And so I think that's like more of a self-coach thing, to be like, okay, I need to get like, this is work smarter, not work harder.
Yeah.
Right? And then I think on like, Sean was actually the one I was using as the example of like, with getting just better at competing.
Yeah.
Because we'll use that same lift that you said. I've never seen him do that once here either.
No.
Where he just like forgot how to do the exercise. And so then I talked to him after. I was like, you just need to calm down. You probably had that same conversation with him too, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Because I think you and I are pretty similar in what we see of stuff. And so I was like, just calm down and remember what you're doing. Like, you haven't been doing the training long enough in order for it to come like a second nature to you. It's not like walking. You have to be really attentive to what you're doing and really focused on how to perform that exercise. So you don't need to be like, I want this, I need to get after it. No shit. Like, we all know you want to do it. You don't need to get into that headspace. You've been also pacing around the arena for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things to like, and I think he's such a good example, because I think he should be the one to like sign up.
Yep.
Just keep getting better, because I know with your guidance and your coaching, those things are just going to come.
Oh, for
getting
sure.
better at that exercise, getting more muscle on, getting faster, getting stronger, it's just going to come with time, with getting coached by you. But I don't think there's a risk of him just signing up for more meets, because he just needs to get better at that.
Yeah.
And I think one of like, even with if we're going to the powerlifting side, people have a minute on that platform to perform, to finish or to get the start command for their lift, right? Yeah. So you have that minute warning, which is a long time when you're ready to go. So I've always told people, I'm like, take your time out there. Like, make it essentially a performance, but take your time out there. And it actually like helps calm you down. It helps make you feel like, I know my setup, I know my routine, because it's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing you do in practice. Now you're just trying to perform on game day. Don't change the things that you did in practice. On game day, you're just doing that as a show now.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the time when people just like rush out there, want to get that stuff done and over with, I'm like, fucking like, take your time. Make it like your presence known on what it is you're doing to get ready to go. I understand on things like events and stuff where you're needing to go fast. But if you're not prepared to physically lift the weight, it doesn't matter how fast you fucking go, because you're not going to finish it anyways. So it's getting performance with your speed, with your like overall athletic ability, which will just come with time.
Yeah.
Like, and I think people underestimate that, especially when you're learning it later in life, when you're older and stuff. It's not like you're 4 years old and you're like, kick that damn soccer ball, and you just have to like, eventually you just start like getting it. When you're older, it's harder to learn new skills.
Yeah.
So it's great, and I think everybody fucking should, but it's harder to do. And there's also that when you're younger, you're like, there's that risk of, or there's no risk of feeling stupid.
No,
when you're older,
learning everything for the first time.
Exactly. Kids don't fucking care. Kids are like, oh, I'll kick the ball and I'll like sprint and fall on my face and I'll do it again, and I'll do it over and over again.
Yeah.
Where like adults have that fear of looking stupid.
I like to use breathing as the example.
Yeah.
For people that are like mid-20s and later, it's like, okay, you've been breathing for over 20 years, and I'm trying to change how you're breathing for the first time ever.
Yep.
Like, don't feel bad, don't get frustrated. It's not stupid. You're literally trying to change something you've done your whole life.
Yes, I use walking as my example of like, you've walked a certain way your entire fucking life, and then I'm going to come and change it. You could be teaching them the like, how to do the best breathing in the entire fucking world, but it's different. Yeah. It's not going to come that easily.
No. You have to overwrite 20 plus years of just doing this one specific way and never once thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're consciously thinking about it and panicking.
Yeah, yes. So then based on your feelings, so you were like kind of nervous leading into it just because of all the extra...
Yeah. It just felt like so much extra pressure. And
then with the extra pressure, did you feel like, as far as when that transfers like to you so there's obviously that pressure as a coach, and I get that because I actually feel more nervous when I coach people than when I actually do my own stuff. Did you feel like when it was your time to think, like, to put on your, I'm going to call it an athlete hat, when it's time to put on your athlete hat, take off your coach's hat, put your athlete hat on, do you have a hard time switching back and forth between the two? Or
I do when it's a competition that's important. So if I'm trying to place for provincials or place for nationals, it's a lot harder to switch back and forth because it's more pressure to get my client to do good and myself to do good, especially if we're in the same weight class. That's really hard.
Sure, yeah.
But for this one, it's not so bad. All of the weights were within a range that I can do normally, and even if I came dead last, it wouldn't really have mattered. I've already placed. This is my 4th competition of the year. I literally only did it just for fun.
I was just gonna say, did you, like, when you reminded yourself of that, did that feel a little bit of pressure off, or not really?
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah.
Enough where it's like, I can lock in and focus now.
Yeah.
Not enough where I can go as intensely as normal.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And especially, like, the fun, reminding yourself that it is for fun gives that little bit of, like, okay, I can breathe a bit.
Yeah.
But it's still, like, it's still that pressure where you're like, I still want, because you're still competitive.
Yeah.
And you still want, it's like that, I'm walking the talk now. Like, people all know you're strong. They all know you do that shit. But when you're in the same playing field as them,
yeah,
you're like, this is why I'm in charge, motherfucker. Like, really, like, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to be, because that's a respect that you give your coach. Like, I'm telling you to do all this shit, but I would never do I would never do anything I wouldn't tell you to fucking do. Right? So I think it's one of those things that it's like, there's still that pressure of, like, when it does come time to perform, that you're like, well, I'm telling you to do all this stuff now. I'm going to show you that I do what I talk about. So
you obviously didn't compete in that competition, but was switching between coordinator and coach difficult?
A little bit, only because I like having a little bit of a plan.
Right.
So I've learned, the longer I've been in business, the longer, actually this goes to my injury too, the longer I've been doing this, a lot of things are just pivoting and problem solving.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually helped with my coaching ability of, like, trying to get, because I like to think about shit. So I like to think about answers. I like to think about stuff, but sometimes you just have to do this quick thinking.
Yep.
Right? So I think it was a good test that way to see how good back and forth it could go. I mean, I'm still kind of listening in the background to make sure that things are, if people need me to do stuff, that I can hear them, that kind of thing. But obviously there's that side that you still want I wanted everyone, whether it was my athlete or whether it was a stranger that was their first time competing, I wanted everyone to have the best weekend.
Yes.
And I think having, like, those things in the back of my head, and then also, like, I want to put as much effort into my clients that were there because I want them to do it again. Because I really believe in this stuff long term, or else there wouldn't be age classes. So I love competing, and I want other people I already know I love it, so I want other people to feel something from it.
Yeah.
And so I think there were a couple points where I'd be like, oh shit, like, I need to get to their warm-ups now. So that was just like I was never late or delayed for anything, or made sure they weren't taken care of. They still had their warm-ups planned as well, right? So all their warm-ups planned, and then to actually be out there to change their numbers when their next weight would go in. But the warm-ups, I found out, was a little bit like, oh shit, you got to get back there kind of thing. So it was just making sure I was on time for stuff. As far as, like, the actual like, hats go, I felt okay with that. Like, of being like, okay, you're making sure that everyone's having a really great experience and making sure everyone's okay. But then, like, I was the one that had the conversation with those people that are trusting in me to make the right decisions for them to perform.
Yeah.
So that's also like the people that needed me or all those things that needed attention can wait the 30 seconds when I help them out for their next event, right? So I think I did a good job of, I mean, hopefully they didn't tell me otherwise, but this is just based on my feelings. But I think just having, I had their numbers prepared ahead of time too, and then just like backup numbers to what I thought they needed in case like someone got hurt or something. Like there was a backup plan to that too. So there was still like, I had some structure going into it. And then obviously if like shit happens the day of, I just have to work on, problem solving it at that time. But it didn't feel hard to get into the coaching mode. I just had to make sure that I was like, okay, at this moment, this is your number one priority. And then everything else can go into that. And I think when I've competed before and trying to coach people at the same time, I think that was the same. I have the exact same struggles you talked about with like the, like the mental side of it. But I think reminding myself that it was just for fun too helps. Yeah. And I think that was a big reminder of what this weekend was too. I was like, this is just for fun. Like this is, and that doesn't mean you don't give a shit about it. I give a lot of shit about it, but it is for fun.
End of the
because
day,
that's all it is.
Technically a hobby.
Technically a hobby, and if it's not for fun, what the fuck is the point?
Yeah.
Right? Like everyone has everyone's got shit, man. Like everyone's got stressful jobs or like kids or all these things that I'm like, for just a couple hours, it just gets to be about you. Fucking rights will give you a fist pump. Like, this is probably the only fist pump you're going to get for like another month. Like,
yeah.
Or maybe it's the only fist pump you'll get all year. So I think it's one of those things of making sure that like the experience was fun for people based on those feelings was the number one spot, I guess. Cause like I said, there's so much stuff that like, everyone has their own struggles and everyone has their own lives. And like I say, for just a couple hours, if we can make it about you and like making sure that, this is your time. Yeah, I'll give you a high five or a fist bump or tell you good job. So, but I did really love it. I loved having all the things going on. So that was cool.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff. What was, did you have anything different from this competition versus other ones? Whether it was physical, mental, emotional, anything?
Doing a 2-day competition is always a whole different beast.
Yeah.
Because the normal protocols for things, you carb load the night before, you compete, you refuel yourself properly the night of, and then the next couple days. Mm-hmm. But it's carb load the night before, carb load during the day, because now there's 2 hours in between every event. You have to make sure that you're actually like warming yourself back up properly. It's not just go the whole day. Mm-hmm. And then you leave the competition and you have to somehow prepare yourself for the next day, which is just as, if not more intense than the first day.
Sure, yeah.
And then trying to convey that to athletes that are just going to go home and probably want to crash. Mm-hmm. Trying to make them do that, especially while I can't see them, just through texts, proved to be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Now, I can't fully confirm or deny if they actually did properly refuel and rest up, but everybody seemed in better spirits day 2.
Yeah, day 2 seemed, I think the nerves went down a little bit.
Yeah.
It felt like that on day 2. Do you like 2 days better or 1 day better?
I like 1 day better, it just fits better into everything.
Yeah.
Less travel costs. This was local to us, but for other people, less travel costs, less worry about maintaining yourself for 48 whole hours instead of just 1 day where you can give everything. Mm-hmm. And then just fully selfishly, I like having a day to
chill the fuck out.
Just die a little bit before the week starts again.
Yes, yeah.
We did not get that. This was like prep everybody for competition the week of, 2 days of competing, and then immediately pivot and start prepping people for provincials.
Yeah, right.
There was no break.
And you just need that time to like... Yeah.
So that's probably been the hardest part.
Do you think there would be a benefit to have, like how we did with the powerlifting, was we did men on Saturday, women on Sunday. Do you think there'd be a benefit to do something like that?
I don't think so.
No. You think just like because you're just takedown events?
Yeah, the purpose that they have for going 2-day events, at least last year, is they wanted it to be a really heavy competition. They wanted everything to be strength focused instead of more CrossFit style, which a lot of people say when you put 5 or 6 events in one day and you have like 30, 40 minutes in between events, it just starts to feel very endurance based rather than strength based.
Okay, right.
And a lot of people want Strongman to be slow and heavy.
Right.
Yes, there's going to be movement events.
Of course.
But they want it to be like you're struggling to walk with that thing, not you're literally running with it.
Right. For a minute straight or whatever.
Yeah. So that's what they were kind of talking about last year and why they went for the 2-day thing. Also just as a way to like separate this competition from other ones. It didn't feel like they did that this year. Now, that could just be me being biased with my own personal feelings at this competition not being as heavy as last year. But I did the same weight class as I did last year. And everything was lighter.
Right.
So it feels like in that regard, maybe they lost the plot on why they wanted a 2-day competition.
I understand what you're saying, yeah.
But I still think it wouldn't work very well to switch it men and women.
Right.
You'd have one really packed day and one tiny day.
Right.
And then, as terrible as it sounds, the attendance wouldn't be as good on the women's day.
Yeah, that's true.
Less athletes, so less spectators to come and support them just by assuming everybody has one person show up. And then, unfortunately, women's strongman is just not as popular as men's strongman.
Of course,
it's
yeah.
getting there.
Yeah.
But
it's grown a lot.
Yeah, it's just not at the same capacity.
For sure.
Even if we did like heavyweight day and lightweight day, there'd be nobody on the lightweight day.
No, that's boring.
Nobody cares.
No.
Everyone wants to see the really big guy pull like 800 pounds.
Yeah, you want to see freaks.
Yeah.
The point of going to these things is to see freaks. So it would be like, literally would have to be men on the Saturday, women on the Sunday, but then the heavyweight men after the women on the Sunday, like to bring attendance back in, right? Like it would have to be something silly like that set up. And I think you're totally right. Like we had a pretty good attendance for the powerlifting side of it, but I don't think Strongman would have that same carryover.
It just doesn't quite work out. No. At least with powerlifting, like everything looks relatively level. Like sure, there's more plates on the bar. Yeah. But it's the same kind of thing.
It's the same movement. Yeah.
When you're doing strongman, it's different sizes, different heights. Like everything looks different.
Yes.
Right? You can very clearly see the difference between a 100-pound sandbag and a 250-pound sandbag.
100%, for sure. And I think it also is, your guys' stuff is so, everybody moves so differently.
Yeah.
And powerlifting, it's like, yeah, there's different body types and stuff like that, but kind of all moves the same at the end of it, right? And it's one motion, one time, and down.
Yeah.
And so I think it even happens sometimes where, like, unless there's like a girl lifting double her body weight, or maybe more sometimes, I feel like the women still gets kind of that similar attendance, or where they'll back out or come back in or whatever when it's a certain group competing, right? So it is important to have, like, I think especially being a chick in the sport, I obviously want more attention drawn to it, right? To see like, hey, like, yeah, she's tiny, but she can move some shit. Oh yeah. Like, and I think that's like sometimes the impressive part that people kind of forget is that, like, yeah, this chick is lifting like 2.5 times her body weight. Like, that's fucking rad, but it's not connected to the same amount of weight in your head, right? You're like, yeah, but it's not a 500-pound deadlift from the ground. It's only 300. Yeah, like, yeah, but that's like almost 3 times your body weight, or whatever it happens to be, right? Which is very impressive, especially for a girl. Yeah. So I think like just bringing that overall awareness would definitely help like grow both sports. That's why I think having both going on at the same time was really cool. People could jump back and forth, see both things. But I think definitely over your where you're right of having not the strongman based into 2 days, maybe have something else on the Sunday for the strongman stuff, because I like the powerlifting being split up into 2 days. Yeah. But somehow find a way to get all the spectators back on Sunday, but with another event going on or something like that. So, but that'll just take some trial and error and planning more shit out. But I can understand the trying to get, especially for you, like you're a pretty seasoned competitor. For somebody that's new, I guess it does happen, but you're not ready for the soreness yet either. Like you're expecting it.
Yeah.
It sucks, but you're expecting it. They're kind of like not ready for it quite yet. And so I think having that split up into 2 days, they're like, oh, I feel like shit. And it's like, yeah, we got to do it all over again today.
Fucking do it again.
Yes. Yeah.
With last year when they did this 2-day one, and it was really heavy, everybody was miserable day 2. We all just were zombies. Just standing there like, why the fuck did we do this? Like, we could all just like take the board the way it is and go home.
Yeah, exactly. Let's call it a day. So then how would you split it up if you could choose it your way? Would you do like heavy, more endurance-based, heavy endurance? Like, how would you split up?
I think they did an okay job at splitting it up, where day 1 events were definitely a little more taxing. So then day 2 could just be a little bit lighter and faster, the for reps type of thing. But I don't think that there's a proper way to balance it.
Right.
If you did like a heavy thing and then 2 light things and then a heavy thing and then 2 light things, day 2 is still always going to suffer.
Right. Hello? Come in. Oh, you can. It's locked. Hi, how's it going? Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
Awesome. Thank you. Got my car back. Got my car back.
Nice.
Yay, Ford. Shout out to Ford. Sweet. Okay, my car's fixed.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
But yeah, there's just no proper way to sort it out.
Yeah.
When you're ready and you're expecting it, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But for people's first competitions, it's definitely a rough blow.
Right. That'll take and I guess like everyone's so different too, of where like I would personally like one day better as well. And I'm pretty good at endurance shit, but I think like it's kind of nice to have people that couldn't make the Saturday maybe see their partner or whoever compete on the Sunday, like if they couldn't make both days. So there's always like a cost reward to something. I mean, at the end of it, it should be really about the athletes. So if a one day event is better, or having like the heavier, the more taxing stuff on the one day and the more chill stuff on the Sunday, even something like, or having even maybe more events on the Saturday and less on the Sunday. Just like a shorter one and then do the awards. Because it was 3 and 3, right?
It was 3 and 3, so we started the Sunday an hour or so earlier so that people had more time to get home.
Yeah. There's some different options to fuck around with. I wonder if that's off the table. If we did like a 4 and a 2.
Yeah, it could be
medals.
a thing.
Yeah.
It's also, this is the second year, right?
Yeah.
They're still ironing things out.
Yeah.
Like there was tech issues and attendance issues and
like you said, equipment and stuff like that.
So there's just always things to fix. So like I would still give them a couple more years to figure it out. And if it's still brutal, then maybe it's like, maybe this isn't why your attendance is as good as the other competitions.
Yeah, like if it's not getting better.
Right? Yeah, like it did get a bit better. I know they wanted it to be way better. But a lot of the people that did the 2-day comp, at least that I competed with, didn't come back.
Right. And that's going to be the thing, is like I think on the power, like if I'm going to switch gears, on the powerlifting side, I had so many athletes ask me if we're going to do this again next year, because I think that was just better. It was better ran. Yeah. Like I said, there's not as much equipment. There's less room for error on the powerlifting side versus.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for powerlifting to go 2 days.
It
men
does.
And women, just like divide everything up, give everyone the attention that they need.
It's easy, right? And then a lot of the time you can have like, if the male powerlifters go on Saturday, sometimes they'll stay behind and compete on the Sunday. They won't do it if it's reversed, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But I think for us it makes a lot more sense. So the athlete feedback was really, really good. But that's what we want from the strongman side, is to be like, you better do this next year. Like that's the kind of attitude and the kind of feedback that I would want, is you're doing this again, right? Because like I want a goddamn countdown calendar to do this competition again. And so hopefully we can start gearing or they'll start finding a way to make the strongman
Yeah.
feel the same.
And like, I can't say that they don't have that. I don't actually know. But I personally prefer one day.
Yeah. I don't blame you. What was your favorite thing of the weekend?
Just in general?
Just in general. It could be something you ate. It could be...
There's two really big standout moments.
Okay.
One of the guys, and I'm blanking on his name, set a provincial record.
The 365 overhead?
The log.
That was pretty rad.
That was really cool.
That was rad.
It's always fun to see records be broken like that, especially at a comp that's not a record breaker comp.
Yeah.
Because like, if you go to those, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen. But when it just happens randomly, you're like, oh my God, let's go.
Yes, I love it.
So there was that. And then one of the pro-ams in the sandbag event, his name's Jeremy, just taking the 300-pound bag and shouldering it
and
then
chucking
running
it.
and it's like, holy fuck, dude.
That was wild.
That was so crazy.
That was wild.
I was not expecting anybody to do that.
That was rad. I did see a clip of that. That was pretty damn cool.
Or it was like one step lower, only because it's a lighter sandbag, but one of the novices, his name was Rudy.
Oh, yeah.
Where he just grabbed it and straight armed it over his head and then just threw it over the bar.
I didn't see that.
It's like, whoa, okay, man. Like, there's other ways to do that, but like, that's really cool.
Hilarious. Just fully chuck it.
Yeah.
Rudy.
Yeah, he's been here for a couple weeks.
Yeah, he did like a fucking got like 7 reps with his last deadlift, that guy?
Something like that, yeah.
He brought it on that lift. That was really, really cool.
Fun fact, he hadn't deadlifted 405 in like over a year.
Yeah, he told me that. Because I was like, you went like ham on that bar.
He
like
just
that
pulled it out of nowhere.
That was fucking unreal. Like that was unreal. That was outstanding. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I was really excited about that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Those would be like my top exciting moments from the day.
What about for you?
I really wanted one thing to happen at this competition, and I wanted to set a really big log PR.
Yeah.
Because it was a max log event.
Yeah.
My other 2 competitors missed their openers, and with the rules of this, if you miss it, you're out. Mm-hmm. You don't get any points. Mm-hmm. So my initial plan was 235, 255, 275. Mm-hmm. But because they missed their openers, you just start at the base weight.
Right.
Secure a win. So I started at 215. And then jumped back in at 255.
Right.
But by then, the event had run longer than they wanted it to, which happens every single time there's a max event.
Sure.
They just forget that it takes forever. I don't know how. It happens every single time.
For sure.
But they didn't let me try.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we already moved on to a different flight. The pros are going to go now. And it's like, that was really disappointing.
Yeah, that is disappointing. Hopefully that just means there's going to be more in the tank left for your next one. But
yeah.
It still would have been like, we're going to do a positive spin on it because that's disappointing for sure.
So like, after I didn't get to do that in the first event, it's like, well, the rest of the day is just kind of whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
For myself, I don't really think that there was anything overly exciting.
Right.
Especially because I was just super amped to try to do that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like I mentioned earlier, it was a pretty light comp for me, all things considered. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't say I had any like super
big highlights or anything. Did you have something cool for dinner?
We just kind of went to Kelly's. Just
Some,
regular old
just
stuff.
Just
nothing,
shit?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing like,
no,
nothing
it was really like
nothing mind-blowing.
For me, the most exciting part of this competition was having one of my athletes get first, having Sean get invited to novice provincials.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Jonathan got second and beat me in one of the events.
Sweet.
So like, good for him.
And cut like 1 billion pounds.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
he weighed
unreal.
in at 175.
Yes.
I weighed in at 194. Right? Not really fair in that regard. I talked to him so many times about why he wanted to weigh in as a U80 when he doesn't want to go to provincials this year. He was just set on having that personal goal be met. So like he competed at like a big disadvantage.
Right.
Still got second.
I respect the like the focus on that because it was just for himself really, which I think that's pretty respectful.
It's good for him.
Yeah. Especially to still bring in like that was That was very impressive.
Yeah.
There was quite a bit of people that were competing from cold iron. They did like Sean Pasman's big deadlift was a good one. He finally got his 505, and then we had another guy here who like he was the one who like he was so fast on the Kona's wheel and so fast on that like tire drag.
Okay.
He was really fucking awesome. And then we had another first time competitor. So we had some people from there that were like, people went to show up to there, which was pretty cool. So I think that was pretty neat.
How about you?
The highlights?
Any massive PRs from your clients?
No crazy PRs from anyone. Just getting an overall total was, now they have totals to beat, which is cool.
Okay.
Everyone was first time competitors. So
so they just had to set a baseline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, I think which my goal was to make, I obviously wanted them to get at least 7 for 9 for their lifts. So they didn't have to go 9 for 9, but I left some room if they had to miss 1 or 2 on their thirds or something. But there's room definitely for, if they do decide to compete again, which I think they will, that there's room for PRs on that, now that they know what to expect and stuff like that. So I was really proud of their actual performances, and they were both really good at moving on. They weren't dwelling on the lifts that they did miss. Yeah. Because they both missed 2 benches. And I'm going to take responsibility for that because I should have done a 5-pound jump instead of a 10-pound jump. I'm going to fully take coaching responsibility for that. That was my fuck up. And so every lift that they did, I was like, oh, there's room in the tank for the next comp, which is cool. My highlights, that whole weekend was a highlight to me. It's so weird. I'm such a I would just die on a hill saying how much I love powerlifting. So I just and I feel very fortunate to be able to now be a part of the strongman world. I don't want to compete in it. But man, do I respect the fuck out of it. And I feel very, very lucky that I get to be able to be a part of both worlds and acknowledge when somebody does something awesome. And, whether my compliment means anything or not, I genuinely mean it when I say good job to you. And I think that's really cool. And I think to be able to meet different people in different industries like that is super important. Yeah. And I love that. The highlight to me, and I think this can go based on personal and also just the person herself. She volunteered on the Saturday. She used to compete and now she's getting ready for a bikini show. Okay. And she used to compete in powerlifting, and she was volunteering, and then she was like, can I compete tomorrow? And we had space, so I was like...
Oh, she just last minute hopped
Last
in?
minute.
That's awesome.
Has not touched a barbell in months. And fucking showed up on Sunday. Did some great lifts. And she was just I just wanted to have fun. And she was and I had a blast. And I think for me, it was such an eye-opening thing I was so... Because right now my body weight is 139. I can compete in 148 and I've competed in 165. The next weight class is 132. And I was comparing so much of what I was lifting at my 145 weight class. 148 weight class, 165, 148. And since my injury and all those things, I haven't been able to lift exactly what I was lifting before. Those kind of things, there's a lot of shit feelings with that. Yeah. And then I was watching how much fun she was having, and I was like, God damn, I love this sport a lot. And so it really lit a fire of where I'm like, well, maybe you don't have to lift what you lifted exactly 148. Why don't you try lifting some new shit at 132? Yeah. So it lit out a fire that I was like, you can compete in all 3 weight classes. What's your total going to be? I don't fucking know.
But pound for pound PRs are absolutely a thing.
Absolutely a thing. And I was like, this inspired me to make a new goal for myself of what I can do. And so I'm taking the fact that she's also an outstanding person, just very positive, awesome to be around. And I think being around someone like that And then remembering that, like, the best part about competing to me was the people I've met and, like, the way people make you feel. And I said a long time ago, I want to make an impact on how other people feel in this sport.
Yeah.
And nobody gives a shit what I fucking lift.
No.
They really don't care.
As soon as you walk away, they forget.
They forget. No one's going to remember my deadlift. Like, my goal was to leave a lasting impact for people in this sport because I want them to feel good. And I want them to see what they're truly capable of. And if there isn't anyone that believes in them, that I was the one person that was like, but I think you got this. And so there's that side of it where I was like, why am I waiting to see what I can get to number wise when I was at the 148s and 165s? Why not just start making new goals at a 132? So it inspired me to get back on the platform.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to start working towards that, which I think is really cool.
When's your next show?
And I don't know. I was thinking about doing this one next year, like the one we just did. I think it would be really fun. There is also one in Halifax at the end of the year that I was like,
okay.
I have a little bit of a YOLO and a little bit of like, maybe I should just fucking do that one. There are some girls that that want to compete in there's a women's only meet in January in Calgary, January, February.
Okay.
So there's 3 different options. So I might just fucking YOLO it and do Halifax in October this year.
Do it.
And I think I should just fucking do it. And before, I physically couldn't squat. I physically couldn't deadlift. I can physically do those things now. And those are the things that I need to be able to do to get a total.
Yeah.
So my name isn't anywhere on the 132s. So I'm like, I think that's where it belongs next.
Yeah.
And I'll give a huge credit to this girl because she was just reminding me so much of how much fun the competing was, because I was so emotionally invested in how I can make others feel in this. And then I was like, but you love this too. Maybe you shouldn't have to wait to hit numbers that you hit before, because shit happens, life happens. What if I never hit them again? I'm not saying that as a goal to or not talking myself out of that goal, because obviously it's a strength sport.
Yeah.
There's things that I don't need. I don't need to... I'm not that person that's like, oh, that was good enough. I already know I don't have that. So the weight, me saying that I might not ever get there, is not me restricting myself. That's just being like, well, shit happens. It might not. I might get hit by a car tomorrow and not be here. So if I just keep waiting for this perfect opportunity, it might not fucking happen.
Yeah.
So I have to just create a new opportunity that I think I can thrive in it a little bit. So that's my next goal. So it is very, very exciting.
I like that.
Thanks. I think it's pretty cool. And I think I think not only will give me like better competition experience that I can share to other people too, but also like, you know, more understanding to people that you don't have to like limit yourself just to one thing. Like if you're, you know, try different goals for yourself and keep challenging yourself. For me, it's all underneath that powerlifting still. Like I'm leanish. There's no part of me that wants to get leaner and do a bikini show. I have no fucking interest to do that again. There's so I'm like, you either
bikinis don't fit me.
But you're getting asked to flex down the street. I thought that was your next thing. You're gonna stand out front and have a fucking... You could be like a Santa Claus, like when you have the fucking bell thing outside. You could be doing that, like flexing outside here. We could buy new equipment with that.
Oh man.
What an idea. Business opportunity.
We're gonna have to talk about that one more.
That's another video. Vote down below if you want Jared to do shirtless Santa.
Oh man.
What do you think you can improve on for your next competition? Mentally, physically?
Prepping more ahead of time. Mm-hmm. So like my training it went to shit. Mm-hmm. So physically, I walked in really unprepared.
Yeah.
But life happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm starting today prepping for provincials.
Fuck yeah.
And then food prep wasn't great.
Yeah.
Like I have guides and resources on how to step by step do it with specific examples and numbers and everything like that. And I was so focused on getting everybody else ready that I didn't prep myself or follow any of my own advice going into this.
Yeah.
Like, I was as unprepared as you can be, other than making weight.
Right.
So just getting back on it and finding ways to get myself ready ahead of time, not sacrificing myself for other people, is going to be what I have to learn.
Yeah, being just a little bit more selfish.
A little bit.
There's definitely a point for that. And I think, like, this kind of goes back to our previous video of, like, just being honest with yourself, right? Like, your eating could be better than, and probably is better than 60% of the population, 70%, whatever, right? It's still better. Somebody training right now could look at what your diet was and be like, whoa, that is substantially better than me. But that's not, like, you really testing yourself.
Yeah,
or
no,
like,
that's not my standard.
That's not your standard. And that's such a, like, good way to, I think, for even, like, a lot of new people to be truly honest with themselves of, like, you know, set higher standards for yourself.
Yeah.
And that can change competition after competition. Because, like, they could look at your diet and be like, what was wrong with that? And you'd be like, oh, well, I need to make this adjustment, this, and you're, like, fucking picking everything apart. And you're like, it looks like this, and this. And they're like, whoa, like, okay. So I think if anyone can take anything away from that, it'd be like, set higher standards for yourself. You know, even if it makes you 1% better next competition.
Yeah, don't 180 your whole life in between competitions. Just pick one thing to do better for the next one.
Just be a little bit less shitty.
Yeah.
Just pick one thing to be less shitty at, and then it will just overall, like, brick by brick, make you a better competitor that then you can start leading, like, the next group of, this is what this looks like, right? Because that's all, like, really that's all this is like, I mean, to quote Elite FTS, like, live, learn, pass on. Like, I think you being honest about what you just said there is, like, of all the things that you, like, you just named a bunch of things that you wanted to fix for your next one, of, like, being just a little bit more selfish, nutrition, all these things that people could look at it and being like, oh, I thought, like, you looked 100% to me, but it's not your 100%.
No.
And I think that's, like, a huge learning curve of where it's so easy to blame other people, blame other factors. Like you said, life happens. That's a different thing. But of not making, like, the factors in your life as excuses to continue on.
Yeah. Right?
Because then if we're sitting here 2 years from now and you haven't progressed in any of your strongman stuff, you're like, oh, my nutrition sucked. But I'm like, Jared, we fucking had this song, like 2 years ago. We danced to this song, like, 2 years ago. Like, and you didn't learn how to dance at all.
Like, accepting that it was bad and that you can fix it is one thing. Mm-hmm. But not fixing it at all is entirely different.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this prep was terrible, and I own up to that fully. But there's no reason to not fix it.
Right.
Right? Like, I gave myself those 2 months to just fuck everything up. Mm-hmm. I don't need to continue with that.
No. Take responsibility, and then now.
Right? We talked about the whole, like, when problems pop up, people want to step back from their training and their nutrition and their fitness because it'll be less stressful. Mm-hmm. Sure, if you need to do that for a little bit, that's fine. I maintained for those 2 months. Mm-hmm. I didn't progress anywhere. I just stayed right where I was. But that's just regular life now. None of those things are going to go anywhere. Yeah. So it's time to fucking go forwards again.
Yeah, it's just pivoting. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, like, you know, everyone wants, like, people think it's going to be a perfect setup in order to have that. Well, nobody has a perfect setup. Like, there's certain things I guess there's expectations, like, look at me, for example, of where they're like, well, you should be in good shape because you own a gym. And I'm like, yeah, but I also like being lazy. Like, I am very, like, fortunate of the fact that, like, my passion is my job, of where, like, I fucking love training. Training is my therapy. And, like, that is something that I'm very, like, balls to the walls on. But it's also, like, I'm also answering emails at 11 o'clock at night. I'm also doing, like, all those things that, you know, the business side of it, the coaching side of it, all those things they're still real things that take presidency in life, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So I think, yeah, there is a certain, like, standard you have to uphold of where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to own a gym and I'm going to be in good shape. Like, you know, if a banker's telling me how to invest my money, I'd probably want him to be good with his money too.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So it's, like, one of those things. But I think, you know, there's there's that expectation of, oh, well, you have this, so you should be good at it. And you're like, yeah, but I'm still human. There's still other things of where, you know, on your side, like of all these life changes that happened, it might not be as perfect as a training schedule that you had when you were 18, 19, when you have like less responsibilities. I'm just throwing a random number out there, but when you have less responsibilities in life, and then you start trying to make a name for yourself of either your business or your family or whatever it is that you're trying to do, you're not going to be able to have those days where you could train in the gym for 4 hours straight. Yeah. Or whatever 3 hours, whatever, right? Like but that doesn't mean it's lost. It just means it has to be rescheduled or recalculated. Yeah. So, but, provincials is your next comp, which is 2 weeks.
It's August 30th.
Okay, so it's like...
Novice provincials is August 16th.
Oh, that's right.
So there's 3 weeks and deload for that one. It's a quick turnaround for Sean. Mm-hmm. And then I got a little bit more time. There is a comp this weekend as well.
Yeah, is it Sycamoose?
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, Cam tried to get me to go there so hard.
Yeah,
Ain't no way I'm doing a 2-day long comp, resting for 5 days and competing again. That's not...
that noise.
Rudy's going, and I applaud his effort. Man's trying to max out his nervous system. I don't know, but...
Damn, that is...
like,
what a wild
good for him.
Some people are unhinged.
Can't do it.
Check on those friends.
I did that in 2023 where I did a comp, just a 1-day one. 2 weeks later, I did another one. It's not
ideal. No bueno.
Recovery is just trash.
Yep.
Like die for a whole month.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no bueno. That's really fast. I think I did provincials one time. It was about 2 or 3 weeks after my comp too, and I still felt like, God damn, like, so then to improve on for this one, better training, sticking to your routine a little bit, or your nutrition a bit more. Is there anything else you could think of for that?
Sleeping.
Yes, sleeping.
The last 2 months have been like a lot of 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
No.
Not ideal.
No.
You can get by, but you can't really progress quickly.
No. You can, sleep is a fucking number.
Even if you're like blasting gear, like, yeah, sleep is still so fucking important.
Sleep is so important. I think people like, I think now it's kind of going away from that, like it was very much advertised before of like, oh, you know, if you're not only sleeping 4 hours a night, you're fucking lazy,
like
and all
grind
that
set shit.
Yeah, like lame. Like, come on. If I don't get enough sleep, I am a shit fucking coach. Like, I am no good. Yeah. No good. And especially I also have like an amazing ability to fall asleep anywhere. So if people are going to leave me, like, if I don't have enough sleep and you leave me alone in the washroom for a little bit too long, I'll fucking fall asleep on the toilet. Like, I don't give a shit. And so, no pun intended. But I think like, I think that's definitely one of those things of, if somebody could make it a difference in their life too, of making like, you know, put your phone down 15 minutes early, half an hour early, like those things make a huge difference to get better sleep. And it's just such a, like, you don't have to have 90% of your body filled with caffeine, right? Like, yeah. So as much as I like that water is the first ingredient in Monster, it's still like, you should still
drink some water.
Yeah. You should still focus on, so yeah. And I think like translating to like, mine before was like, I have a hard time of, nobody's ever made me feel this way, but I never want to be described as lazy. Nobody's ever called me lazy. But I had to get away from that, like, feeling of, oh, if I'm not awake and working, I'm lazy. And like, then I've also had a lot of time, like same as you when you were just talking about 4 or 5, like not enough sleep at all. I've had those for many months before, and everything else is just like, my neck hurts, my shoulders hurt, I feel heavy, my body hurt. Like, it's just, there's so many things that it's just like a domino effect.
And even like on paper, it looks like you have more time to do everything, like you could get all these other things done.
Yeah.
Everything takes so much longer.
So much longer.
It's really just not worth it.
You're
if you just
dragging
slept
your
for
ass.
2 more hours instead of giving yourself those 2 hours to work.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You spent the first 20 minutes scrolling on nothing, and then the other 20 minutes watching like a cat fit in a box. Like, it's just, which if it fits, it sits is the best YouTube video ever, which is very fitting to this, because if I have problems sleeping, I watch If It Fits, It Sits. And it's just like dogs and cats trying to fit in things that they can't fit in.
Is that your tell sign? You're like, oh, I'm not sleeping.
I'm not sleeping. I'm like, this cat fit in the vase. And then I'm like, you gotta go to bed. This is cat thing he is.
That's a good tell.
That's a good tell. Yeah, because not sleeping enough. So if you're watching people from... this can be in a coaching or athlete answer, but when you're sitting back and watching other competitors, do you see any sort of like self-sabotage that you think could work against like that person, whether they know they're doing it or not?
A lot of people will just go balls to the wall out the gate. And if you're a novice, literally everyone in your class is going to do that. So it's not like you're setting yourself up for a disadvantage. But as soon as you step into weight classes and you try to make it up a tier in the sport, going to provincials, going to nationals, you have to play the game a lot more strategically, where you look at other people's histories in lifting, you look at what the competition's at, you look at what you can do and where you think you're going to reasonably place in all these events, and you have to decide where your effort goes. Right? We started with a max log at this competition, and everybody wants to just max it out, like fully 110% gas, set a big PR, get first in that. It sets your day up to be a lot more positive, yeah. But you don't need to do that, especially because I'll just use myself for this example, where the other 2 competitors didn't get their openers, so I could just do the lightest log option, that's a warm-up weight I usually skip. Mm-hmm. So I pressed it, and I should have just stopped. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to get the other ones. I wanted to put on a show and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And if this comp was one that actually mattered, that would have fully been self-sabotage.
Right. Yeah.
I should have just stopped at 215, walk away.
Right.
You won that event, no more.
Right.
Same goes with the deadlift ladder. I had a different client, like I mentioned, where she maxed it out, 10 out of 10 effort on that one. She only needed to get 3 or 4 reps.
Right.
She had 8.
Right.
Not needed.
Right.
And then you go into the last event gassed.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that, where a lot of people look at a sport like this and they see everyone's giving their all the time, but they're not.
Right.
Especially the ones that are strategically trying to win. Mm-hmm. Because you can plan, all right, I'm going to intentionally only get 3rd on this event. And then I'm going to make up those points in this one, and I'm not going to do very well on this one on purpose. I'm going to make up those points there. You don't have to get 1st in every event to win. We talked about Tyson in the last one. He zeroes most farmers' frame type events because his hands are fucked up. But he still wins most of his competitions.
Right.
Because he just strategically plans how he's going to make up the points later on.
It's a total. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be the biggest self-sabotage that I see. The other one is just forgetting things or not planning ahead. Mm-hmm. Smelling salts are great, but if you use them for every single event, by the time you get to the last one, they're not really going to do what you need them to do anymore. You are so fucking fatigued at that point. Mm-hmm. The adrenaline spike, it's not going to hit the same. Yeah. Right? So
you wanted to. You're chasing that damn dragon, but it's.
So, it's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Where people just need to sit down and think about it. Because as soon as you sit and think and you're like, okay, did I actually need the smelling salts for event 1 when I was completely fresh? Probably not. Yeah. Did I need them for the event that I know I'm really, really good at? Probably not. Mm-hmm. You use them a lot more strategically and you're going to go a whole lot further. Yeah. There's always small sabotages in people using really weird forms for things that they swear is going to be better. But that's not something that you can really nitpick.
Technique forms? Is that what you mean? Sorry, okay.
Somebody vipering a log versus clean and pressing it properly.
Oh, sure. Right, okay,
If you can one motion it, cool, but it's a lot more risky.
Yeah.
If you practiced it and you're fully confident, that'll be a thing. But if you're a novice, probably just do it properly.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
way that you know that it's going to work every time for sure.
Yeah. Less room for error. And then
Yeah.
also, like, I think a lot of the time, if you can, like, naturally muscle fuck your way through something, it's harder to get people to make those adjustments to, like, a proper form of something, too.
It takes longer, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I can do it this way. You're like, yeah, but this way is better.
Because then even when they start to make it look like it's the correct way,
Yeah.
they're still strong enough to do it the wrong way.
Yes.
Even if it looks right, it's really hard to, like, pinpoint those things because you don't know how it feels inside.
100%. Yeah.
I can only go based on what it looks like.
Yeah.
You could be fully lying to me with your body.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But you're like, but I see it like this. Like,
Yeah.
it's, yeah. Yeah, I think my answer is very similar of, you know, not being maybe as strategic, but also watching too many other people do things. Like, oh, they're eating this giant meal. I should eat a giant meal. Or they're taking smelling salts now. I should take smelling salts now. And it's like one of those things where it's great to learn from other people and have a coach, all those things. But eventually you just kind of have to figure out what it is your body needs and can handle, right? Like, you don't need to, if someone's eating, I'm just throwing around a bowl of pasta between bench and deadlifts, and you don't eat pasta, why are you eating pasta? Like, and you're like, well, this guy's got a big deadlift, I'm going to eat pasta. And you're like, yeah, but you probably shouldn't be eating pasta. That was just the first food that came to my head.
Promise you, it's not the pasta that gave him the deadlift.
It's not the pasta. It's not about the pasta. So I think sometimes just like when you have that, especially when you have a plan ahead of time, try not to go off of that just because you see what other people are doing. There's differences between like learning things from other people where you're like, oh, why are you doing it like that? They give you an answer, you're like, oh, I never thought of it like that.
That would be the only time I would say I would disagree with that is when it comes to form specifically.
Yeah, totally.
Because there's so many different ways to do things in strongman.
Yeah.
And especially if you're not going first.
Yeah.
Like, sorry to all the women athletes who have to go first.
Yeah.
But you can watch them and be like, all right, so this strategy works. That strategy doesn't.
Yeah.
I was about to do that one that didn't work. I'm going to quickly flip that.
Right. Yeah.
Unless it's a dramatic 180 form change.
Yeah.
Right? Just a small thing. Like Conan's wheel, before the day even started, we were all talking like, all right, I wonder if it would be better to go more inwards. Smaller circles, you can go around faster, but it's going to feel significantly heavier. So we were weighing the pros and cons of that, and that would be the only time I would say watching people is good. If you're going to steal tiny little bits of form.
Or how to hold the bar closer, or whatever it is that looks like it's benefiting.
I doubt that applies to powerlifting.
No, it does. Yeah. And now, exactly. I was using powerlifting in that example, but I can see it on your guys, especially because your guys' lifts are always so different that when it is something brand new that you, like, who's got a chance to practice on the Conan's wheel? Not very many people. And so I think, like, that's the time where you are supposed to take, like, tricks and tips from other people so that you are like, oh, okay, like this. Yeah. Right? So, but, yeah, I think a lot of the time, even with, like, the, like, self-sabotaging, I don't think, unless it's, like, a full mindset thing that people are saying, like, if they start being negative towards themselves, then that's self-sabotage. But I think a little bit of is, like, unknown self-sabotage of, like, you know, exhausting all your resources in the beginning by trying to be, like, amped up the whole time, or, like, they don't know, right? That's just, like, because you don't know how someone's going to perform the day of. You have no idea. The most confident person in the gym could just be a fucking wreck in front of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, but I think that's just all, like, a learning curve for it. So if I were to say anything to anyone, just fucking keep signing up.
Competing is a skill.
Competing is a skill. Yeah. What you think? Anything else? Any other questions?
All the questions that I had were indirectly answered throughout the stories.
Sweet.
What about you?
I don't think so.
Any final thoughts?
I don't think so. I liked this one. This one was a good conversation.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Yeah. I don't think anything else. Me back on the platform in October and you smoking provincials next.
And then Nationals in October.
Where is Nationals?
It's in Calgary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not too far. It's at the beginning.
Oh.
Is yours at the beginning?
Halifax at the end of October.
Okay.
I was like, I just pass on through.
I was more gonna be like, nobody's even gonna be here. Gym's just gonna be empty.
Gym is gonna be fucking like just tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
Like.
That's good then.
Yeah. Let's call it there.
Okay.
Awesome. That was fun. Sweet. Thank you. Flex for the camera.
Oh yeah. My card
Donate down
depleted
below.
itself.